Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy training day. My name is Ren Auha, and every single week I'm here with the Art Boss Report, providing content and training to get your business up and running and closing the sales that you need. Today is a little bit more serious of a topic. We're still talking about income and we're still talking about creating a system that allows for you to close more sales. But we're going to actually be doing a little bit of workshopping today, and I'm going to be sharing with you a decision matrix. Guys, wouldn't it be super amazing if all that you had to do was just kind of show your artwork, take pictures, put it all out there in social media, create some crazy, amazing, we call it the super sexy website, and your artwork would just fly off the shelf. Here's the reality. Here's the reality. Every single business, every single artist has a unique product, has artwork that is important, artwork that has the power to create positive social change. And when we are looking at our product, we have to have a business system that allows for us to reach our most beautiful, wonderful, perfect, ideal customers. Here's the thing. There are multiple income streams, and it is important for us to decide on what income streams match our product and our business. So we're going to spend some time today. I hope you're okay with it, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this decision matrix. I want you to pick a lane. I want you to choose what income stream you want to be working in first. There's nothing worse than watching artists burn out and go through overwhelm and come to me and saying, nothing's working, I'm not selling. And when I ask them about how they're finding their clients, who their clients are, they really have no idea, because they're shotgunning everything. They're trying to do the gallery model. They're trying to do art shows, art competitions, art licensing, as well as set up a website, try to be in Etsy, trying to be in Fine Art America, try to be in such and suchy. And what ends up happening is they just take little niblets of time everywhere, and nothing's happening because they're not spending enough time in any one place. So what I want you guys to do today is going to be a little bit of a work session. I want you to grab a pen. I want you to grab some paper. I want you to be taking some notes. And if you are interested in getting your hands on this worksheet, it's a really simple worksheet that we're going to go through. I want you to connect with Arty. Simply connect with Arty the Art Bot so that you have all of the information, training, as well as the PDF files, the updates directly to your Messenger inbox. And you don't have to wait until training day to get your hands on those. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and dig on in. I am so excited for what we're doing today. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to grab what you need, and we are going to go ahead and dig on in. Hey, everybody. So excited to be able to spend some time working with you and workshopping a really easy tool that is going to allow for you to start narrowing in on the income stream that has the most likelihood to make you the most amount of money. We're calling this session Unleash Your Creative Power by simply reducing or eliminating the experimenting in different income streams. This is a matter of getting your artwork into the hands of the people who need it. And we're going to simplify this. There's only two ways to sell your artwork. You either sell it yourself or you ask someone else to sell it for you. Okay. Those are the only two choices that you have. When we start looking at different income streams, then we start seeing there are different ways that we can sell our artwork ourselves or ask someone else to sell it for us. We can start looking that there are multiple different income streams that will allow for us to either find someone to do it for us or to learn how to just close those sales ourselves. Okay. So whatever income stream that you choose, that is like super cool. There is no right or wrong income stream. They all have positives. They all have things that are super great about them. And they all have things that take time, work, resources. And I'm not even going to call them the cons, but they're the things that you need to be able to evaluate. Do you have what it takes to actually navigate that income stream that in a way that allows for you to make significant cash without having to spend tons and tons of time, because we want you to be able to be making profit. Okay. Let's stop experimenting with all of them. Instead, let's choose the one. Let's choose a lane. That's what we're going to talk about. Let's choose a lane. Let's stop experimenting all over the place. Let's focus on the one that makes most sense for us and our business. And then let's go all in. Here's the thing. The business system doesn't change. Once we set up our business system, the business system always stays solid. It stays the same. It's simply coming up with the systems to collect your leads, connect with your leads, and close your leads. Now, when you choose one of the income streams, your leads will be different. You're going after different leads, or the way that you connect with them might be different, or the process in which you actually close and get your money in hand may be delayed or may look a little bit different. But until you pick one of these income streams, we can't navigate it until we've picked just one. Okay. Here's the beauty. When you actually simplify your selling system and you choose just one of the income streams, what you learn and how you convert sales in that system, you actually can start applying to all of the income streams as you grow your business. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the decision matrix, and we're going to just kind of really break apart this chart so you know how to use it. That's all I really want for you. At the end of training today, I want you to download this. I want you to fill it out, and I want you to make a decision on which one of the income streams is the best fit for your business currently. What is going to bring you in the most sales and profit currently. Okay. So once again, doesn't matter which one of these. If you'd like to work with Team Art Boss, we'll help you build out your system so that you find the right leads, so that you connect with them, and so that you get the close. Okay. Whether the close is yes, you've been accepted into an art show, or whether the close is yeah, I want that piece of artwork on my wall right now. Here's my money. Okay. So let me go ahead and grab it, and we're going to do it. Okay. So the chart, we're just going to take a minute and break apart the chart so you know how to use it. Across the top are the different types of income streams. We have the gallery model, the traditional gallery model. Every artist is pretty familiar with that. I want to give you a few stats about it before we dig into the meat of this decision matrix. There in 2019, there were about 5,000 galleries in the United States, according to the US Census. And over the last, 5 years, I would say that it's probably stayed pretty much around that 5,000 mark, maybe even down a little bit after COVID. Not every gallery is created equal. So there are different types of galleries. There are online galleries. There are the small coffee shop galleries. There are the mid-sized galleries that are in retail spaces in large cities. And then there are the mega galleries. So we're not going to spend a ton of time breaking them apart. But when we look at the ease of entry, the cost per entry, that's what we're gonna start talking about inside of the chart. Okay. Another income stream, a really popular one, is art shows and art competitions. They are, again, there's a range of them. Not every art show and art competition is created equal, but it is estimated that there are about 300 competitions in art shows every single day around the world. Okay, that's a pretty good number, I would say. When you start looking at across the world, we're talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of art events that are happening on a daily basis. Love it. Absolutely love it. The average acceptance rates for art shows depend on how much marketing they do. So the bigger the art show or art competition, the more money they spend on marketing, the less artists that they that they take into their competition or their art show. The more people, like the big shows that have millions of people that come through on like a 2 weekend art fair, they're bringing in a million people, they're spending millions of dollars in advertising, they're making artists hundreds of thousands of dollars during that event. They typically have really small acceptance rates. Then we have other art shows that happen in coffee shops or happen in church parking lots. Those have obviously higher acceptance rates, but also typically don't close $100,000 in a weekend. Okay, so art licensing is a super amazing income stream. There's probably less than 100 art licensing companies who are actively seeking artists. And you also have the opportunity to break into the art licensing market as a freelancer. So, that we look at the number of artists who are working in that income stream, and it's a really low percentage. And then the last income stream is selling artwork online. That ranges from anything from social media, using social media to close sales, using your website to close sales, and any sale that is managed by you. Okay. If you're working with companies like Etsy, Saatchi and Saatchi, companies like that, that actually rolls up underneath galleries. Okay. Because someone else is selling your artwork for you and doing all your marketing. Okay. So I'm going to pop back over here for a second. Okay. Those are the four main income streams. And I want you to pick a lane. I want you to go, and by the end of using this chart in here, we're going to have a ranking, and I want you to rank these four different income streams in the best fit, right? What's the best fit for you? A 1 would mean it's an amazing fit. It's the first place I'm going to start working, and I'm going to really dig in to learn how to navigate that income stream. And, a 2 obviously is the second, and all the way to 4, which is the least likely of the income streams for you to navigate and learn how to navigate right now. Okay. The future is the future. Things can change. Okay. So let's do this. Let's do this. Who here wants to learn how to navigate the online market? To say online. I'd like to get a feel for who is here and what you're looking for. What about art licensing? Who here would like to understand how to navigate the art licensing market? Just like say art licensing in the comments. Okay. What about the gallery market? Okay. Who here wants to understand how to find a gallery to represent them? Go ahead and put gallery in the comments. We're not even going to dig into art shows and art competitions. Those are super simple to understand how to get into. If you have a interest in getting into one of the mega shows like the Kansas City Plaza or maybe Laguna Beach or some of the big shows, then you can reach out to me and say, hey, I need to learn how to navigate and what I need in order to get into the big shows. Okay. But pick a lane and we're going to stay in it. We're going to learn how to navigate through that one lane. Okay. So let's go ahead and grab the features, right, of each of the income streams and start ranking them and start taking notes on them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this back up. On the left-hand side, we're going to talk about the ease of entry. We're going to talk about the cost of entry. We're going to talk about the opportunities that exist. And we're going to talk, to me, one of the most important things when you choose an income stream, making sure that you have the control you need to close the sales that you need. Okay, so let's go through these features of each one of each one of the income streams so that we can start taking notes and making decisions here. Okay, these are my notes inside of the little blocks. They're my notes for each one of the income streams. And I'm going to share with you why I graded each one of these income streams the way I did. And then at the end, after you have rated, then we're going to start navigating these different income streams. As you know, we already have the whole entire online market figured out for you guys. We have the full system up and running, and we are using that same system to help artists in the art licensing market and in the gallery model. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Which one do you want to be focusing on? Ease of entry. This is my favorite. Okay. We need to evaluate, is this an income stream that's easy to get into? Are there decision makers outside of our control? Are there gatekeepers? How much control do you have? Can you simply make a decision and say, I want to be in this income stream and no one can stop me? Or is it you're waiting for someone to actually give you permission to sell your artwork? Another component of ease of entry includes physicality. Some of these income streams are very physically demanding. You have to lift and move and hang and really have it has a lot of physicality. A lot of times you have to get in a car and you have to drive for hundreds of miles with a trailer behind you and things like that. Also, ease of entry also takes into account how much inventory you need before you get accepted, as well as any cash investment that you need to lay out before you ever see the sale. Okay, so the gallery model, I'm marking it as a hard, mostly it's hard to get into the gallery model because they're gatekeepers. Mostly because that's the big one, right? It's we have a little bit of control on deciding whether we are going to be in a certain gallery. We can create a lead list and we can start working with those galleries to convince them to sell our artwork, but we don't have access to their clients immediately. We have to be a pre-approved. There's a whole approval process that we need to go into. As for art shows and art competitions, I put in ease of entry as moderate because I was really thinking about the art shows that make you money. I'm not talking about the ones where you hang up your artwork in a coffee shop. They sit there for a month, they get splashed, you end up taking them down and you haven't made any sales. I'm talking about the ones like Kansas City Plaza. I'm talking about the ones Laguna Beach, the ones that are when you talk to the artist, they're making 20, 30, $50,000 in a weekend. It's moderately difficult. Once again, the same reasons. They have gatekeepers. People actually decide whether you're qualified enough to be in that event. There's very little artist control whether you can actually get into that event. There's high physicality. This is the income stream where you're lugging grid wall, panels, tents, tables, artwork, and you're spending probably a good day to half a day setting up and taking down your booth. And then let's see here. Also, cash needed ahead of time. This is probably one of the most expensive income streams where you actually have to have more resources and tools ahead of time. In the big art shows that make artists the 10, 20, 30, $50,000, you have to have a specific type of tent. You have to have a specific type of display boards, and it's very regulated so that there's uniformity in the way that their full fair and event looks. Okay, so the art licensing, extremely difficult for the ease of entry. It's very difficult to find people who are going to represent you and take your artwork to companies like TJ Maxx and Hobby Lobby. So, and also if you choose to go the freelance route, typically art licensing events and art licensing shows, the booth cost range in the $8,000 to $10,000 before you add in airfare, staying, eating food, and all of the things that go around being at those events and being the one who has to set up the booth. Okay. So then finally in the online market, the ease of entry, probably one of the most best things about selling your artwork on your own through social media or through your website, or really just working on your own to sell your artwork. There's no one who can tell you that you can't do it. Okay. You're the only one who tells yourself that you cannot do it, but there are no barriers to entry. There are no huge cost to being able to navigate the social media and quickly find people who would love to purchase your artwork. Okay. Cost of entry. I just use the dollar signs. Again, the cost of entry is part of the ease of entry, but I wanted to specifically call out that when we talk about cost of entry, we're talking about everything that ranges from entry fees to the time and resources it takes to get accepted, and also the resources and tools needed to get a yes from your client, as well as commissions. Okay, so you know that in the gallery model that they take anywhere between 20 to 60% depending on the gallery. And I'm going to tell you, a good gallery what earns every single penny of that. If they're a gallery who's investing in finding the right leads for your product, it's worth every penny that you're paying. Art shows, I put $2 signs based on the fact that depending on which one you choose, we have really expensive ones where your tent can cost $5,000, your panel boards, your lighting, everything. You're looking at 10K in before you even make your first sale. And then some art shows and art events have really low entrance fees. So I just did an average of $2 signs. Art licensing, the cost of entry, remember, it's not just the cost of entry. It's not just, I'm sorry, it's not just the cost of application fees. It's also the cost that when you make a sale, how much you have to pay, what percentage you have to pay of your sale once you make the sale. And art licensing gets the $3 signs, not because it's expensive for application fees and things like that. It's because they take anywhere between 90 and 95% of the sale. Okay. And so that's why I have it with the $3 signs. And then the online market, there is no upfront cost working in the online market. If you create a website, right, that's why we have a dollar sign there. There's a cost to setting up a website if that's the route you choose, but you don't have to set up a website to sell your artwork online. You guys know that already. Access and opportunities. I want to really just give a big picture about how many artists are actually successful at gaining these income streams. And that doesn't mean that you can't do it. It means you need a system to be able to find your leads, find your leads, connect with your leads, and close your leads. Once you have that system, you're going to be a part of this percentage, right? And you have the system to be able to get what you want to do. So when we're working with a gallery model, it's estimated that right around 10 to 12% of artists actually gain gallery representation. And that's really, there's 5,000 galleries in the US who take a handful of artists every single year. Just basically looking at the math and the numbers. If you're like, oh, that sounds really low, even if there were 100,000 artists who got representation, there's 2 million of us. Okay, so just remember, right? It sounds really low, but I'm going to tell you when you start doing the math, you're like, okay, that totally makes sense. The access and opportunities for art shows, I'm putting it at around 50%. Remember, once again, the big shows, I work directly with Kansas City, the Kansas City Plaza. So I was on the backside in the meetings talking the numbers, and they would have 5,000 entries every year, and they had 240 people who were accepted. Okay, so I walked through the whole process of how they chose which 240 artists got into the art show. Okay, so and then there are other art shows that obviously have bigger acceptance rates. And art licensing, with only a handful of art licensing agents and only a handful of art licensing events that happen, less than 1% of artists get into the art licensing market. There are two main categories that artists who are 2D and visual artists that they get into. Okay, it's wall art and surface design. Okay. There are a lot of different opportunities for art licensing, including music, including just putting your image on someone else's product. So there are other opportunities. They mostly source artists for that at art licensing events and through art licensing agents, mostly. Okay, right. And then the online market, access and opportunities. No one's denied. You can quickly in 20 minutes set up a page in Facebook, an Instagram account, and you can start selling right away. Okay. Artist control. For me, this is the big one that I want to make sure that I have the most likelihood of being able to affect a positive answer from my client. Okay. So when I'm working with my clients in the gallery model, I'm looking for gallery owners who are serious gallery owners who I can see have a business system that closes sales. Right. And so when I'm working in that industry, I don't have final decision on whether they accept me. Okay. I do have control over who I who I pursue and who I decide to work with. But after I ask to work with them, the final decision is not mine. Okay. In the art shows and competition, same thing happens in those really big shows, the ones that I want to be in. If I'm going to spend that much time and money lugging things across fields, I want control over being able to put up what I want to put up, to not be told I can't do a certain kind of style because there's other competition there that is doing the same thing as me. Okay. Inside of the art licensing industry and inside of that income stream, you have zero control. You're going to be told what to paint. You're going to be told when to paint it. You're going to be given color palettes. You're going to be totally left out of any of the decision-making process. If your artwork is even presented to the client, you can work for months upon months producing amazing artwork to not even have one piece shown to a customer because your sales team that decides what they're going to show decides not to show your artwork. Okay. And the final one with online market, once again, you can decide what you're going to create, when you're going to create it, your sizes, your color palettes. It is, instead of worrying about what you're going to display and sell, you are focusing on finding the most perfectly wonderful customers who are going to close those sales. Okay. So here's the thing that we need to do. Okay. If you want to modify any of the answers, these are the answers from my experience working in galleries, art shows, art licensing, as well as the online market. You can change them or you can put notes in these little blocks. More importantly, I want you to start breaking out the pros and cons for each one of these income streams so that you can start making a decision which is the first one you want to focus on. Okay, so I'm going to take a second here before we kind of dig into the pros and cons. For some of you, you're just starting out and you're like, I don't know which is my first choice. That's cool. This decision matrix is going to help you focus on one instead of doing what all the rest of the artists are doing is shotgunning, trying to figure out which one, because they're only spending a minute and a half on each one, right? And then they're like, I don't know, it's not working because they're not spending enough time on one, going all in on one income stream. For those of you who've been around the block, I absolutely love you. You probably have worked with galleries. You've probably been in art shows. You may have had your eye on art licensing, or you have art licensing gigs, and you may be even like tinkering in the online market. Let's figure out what the most important income streams are for you. If you already, let's just say, for example, because I know there are a lot of artists here who already have galleries and they already have websites, and they're like, you know what? My number one income stream right now is galleries, but I would like to learn how to sell on my own. So I'm going to put that as a 2. And then number 3, I want to learn, am I right for art licensing? Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons. This is how I want you to evaluate your pros and cons. Okay. So this is how you do it. This is the system. So if you haven't taken notes yet, now's the time to grab your pen. Okay. When you think about your selling style, I want you to think about, are you better at selling business to business or business to consumer? Okay. If you're like, what's the difference? Business to business, you got to claim it. You're a business. Okay. If the way that you sell your artwork and you're not looking at what you're doing as a business, you need to make that shift right away. We need to make that shift. You have a product that allows for you to make money and bring in income. You're a business. If you want to sell to other businesses, you want to actually get the yes from an art gallery, from an art show coordinator, or an art licensing agent. If you want to get the yes there, you're business to business. There's a different selling style when you're selling business to business. If you're just like, no, just connect me with the end user, the person who's going to take the piece of artwork off of the wall in my studio and put it on the wall in their favorite room. Now you're business to consumer. Okay. So depending on which one you thrive in, then it can really quickly show you which income streams are going to be best for you. Your artwork. Okay. Some kinds of artwork works better in certain income streams. If you are an illustrator or a surface designer, oh my goodness, art licensing, it makes sense. If you have artwork that's highly marketable and highly connectable with a more general public, and if you're like, oh my gosh, absolutely would love to be in art licensing. Okay. Some of us actually do more commission style work. Commissions don't work in the art license industry, but they work really well online. They can work really well in art galleries, and they also can work in the art shows. What are your marketing skills? Do you have a set of skills that allows for you to quickly market your artwork? The ability to set your expertise in the marketplace and leverage your expertise. I want you to think about this as you're writing out your pro and con list. What about the ability to manage that income stream? Do you have the time, money, and resources it takes to actually be successful in there? And also your profit and sales. Okay. So profit, I said first, because we can do a lot of work in an income stream. And then once we like meet our goals and we meet those goals, we look at how much money we made and how much it cost us to do that. And we have no profit. It may not be the right income stream. Okay. So that is it, guys. I'm going to pull it up for one last second. I want you to take your notes. I want you to put, I know it's really small. Okay. So grab another piece of paper and start writing the pros and cons for each one of these income streams. Some of you already know just intuitively based on this chart, which ones are best for you. Some of us need to create a little pro and con list. But what I want most importantly is for you to start putting a rating score, which is the most interesting income stream that's going to make you the most money and the most profit based on what you know now, based on what you need to know now. Okay. If you're already in one of those income streams, they get the number, and you're making money, they get a number one right off the top. We don't get rid of income streams that make us money. But once we've mastered that income stream, now it's time to put in a second one. Okay. So then we go down the list and we decide which ones are worth our time, money, and energy. So if you would like help navigating those income streams, you have a couple options here. You can grab a session with me. I will do a business audit with you if you'd like. Just simply put the words business audit inside of the comments below. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit down together. Typically, it takes an hour to 2 hours. And I'll need to get information from you ahead of time, as well as just being able to work directly with me on a monthly basis to identify the best income streams. And if you'd like to work in the art licensing or the gallery industries, we'll build out your plan. We'll look at what you need to do to connect, collect, and close so that you are solidly running a business system that makes you money in that income stream. Okay. So that's an opportunity. If you'd like to learn more about how to navigate the art licensing industry, because there are artists that I'm looking at right now who can easily navigate the art licensing market if they had the skills to be able to sell business to business, right? And also understand how to find their leads. Art licensing agents aren't just floating out there like making it known that they're an art licensing agent. They truly hide. Okay. They truly hide. But when you know where to look for them, and you know how to connect with them, and you know how to close them, and you need to be able to continue to nurture that relationship even after you get the yes, because you need for them to show your artwork to TJ Maxx, Hobby Lobby, all the rest of those retailers, and then also being able to work with a production team. So would love to make this offer. If you want to learn more about how to navigate that art licensing industry, I was working with art licensing agents. I have 3 still that I work with. And if you'd like to know how to navigate it, because goodness gracious, I so wish that there was someone out there when I was like, okay, art licensing is perfect for what I do. I wish there was someone I could ask questions. Okay. And there wasn't anyone. So if you want me to show you how to navigate that, I'm going to be giving you access to the art licensing masterclass that I'm doing on June 19th. Guys, if that's a busy day, don't worry. Everything's available in replay. You're going to walk away with my art licensing playbook, That's everything you need to decide whether art licensing is for you, how to navigate, how to find art licensing agents, and how to keep them after you get them. It will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on July 19th. And I'm going to give you the link here inside of the description so that you can just go ahead and register for that masterclass. I'm going to be spending time with you showing you how to navigate the art licensing market. Okay. So that is it for today. It's a little bit more serious. Okay. For some of you who are starting out, you have a really great decision matrix. And for those of you who are successful in one of the income streams, but you would actually like to add more income into your business, it was a really great place as well to start evaluating what's next. We'll see you guys later. We'll have a really great rest of your week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. We'll talk to you later. Bye.